All right, guys. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Got a nice little bounce coming in this morning, so we'll see what happens. But happy Monday. Morning, guys. How's everyone's weekend? Father's Day. Everyone have a good weekend. Ready to go? Ready to go this morning. Got a lot of stuff to look at. JJ morning again. Seth. Alpha Options. What's up, guys? Brian. So, yeah, I got Neo on the list. Netflix. Morning, Preston. What's up, guys? So, nice little bounce coming in. Actually, if you haven't seen it yet, AMC is moving as well. I've been sort of watching that thing this morning. Let's see. AMC. Yeah, it's up to 62 here in the pre-market. So interesting. Probably worth watching today. AMC. MA. If you want to see Baba, just watch my video yesterday. I went over the whole thing. I went over Baba in depth yesterday in my video. So if you want to see that, go ahead and check it out. So 802. What else is going on today, guys? Anything? We see Bitcoin. You see those Bitcoin. I saw you guys talking about Bitcoin stocks. You want me to go over those? I will. I will go over my thoughts on them. It looks like right now we're getting a pullback right now, right? It's because Bitcoin. I mean, they're not very good. But yeah, this riot chart is not too hot here. You can see we tried to break above this 50-day, but we did not. So you can see that tried 4 times, rejected off that 50, and fell under this 33.50. So interesting. It's really all going to come down to how Bitcoin performs. Those stocks are they're 100% correlated to Bitcoin. It's not like a 1-to-1, but it's very strong. So if Bitcoin's falling, don't expect much with Riot and Mara. It's really just a way. To trade Bitcoin without actually trading the coin. So that's what you have to be aware of. You have to be aware of the correlation. Don't expect your Riot position to go up if Bitcoin's falling. So the market starts giving up. Zoom. In a second, we'll get into our chart, into our schedule here. Yeah, Zoom. I'll go over this in depth maybe later, but yeah, Zoom's sitting right here at this 380. So pretty important resistance. But we can get into that more in depth. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys again for stopping by. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead and make this a good week. It should present a lot of opportunity this week. We have we have a pullback on the Dow that may be able to get bought up. We have the Nasdaq pushing extremely strong with a lot of tech rotation. So let's see what happens this week. But let's go ahead and analyze, what we need to know pre-market today to prepare ourselves for the entire week. Really just a really good in-depth analysis on the futures today could set us up to sort of know what can happen into the rest of the week, which will be good. It'll set you guys up, and it'll prepare you for trading. So let's go ahead and look at the schedule so far that I have. So I have futures. Obviously, I want to look at Boeing. Boeing has been pulling back to an important support level, but on the flip side, you have the Dow, which is bouncing at 33,000. So if you get a Dow bounce, you may be able to get a Boeing bounce as well. So let's go ahead and see if Boeing can bounce here at this support line. You have Nvidia, which I believe needs to cool down a little bit. There is. I'll show you the patterns that I've been seeing on the 4-hour, I believe it is, and I want to see if Nvidia can cool down a little bit, maybe pull back slightly, and give us another buying opportunity. Because right now you have the Dow up almost 0.6%, and you have the Nasdaq that's up 0.2. So if we have money trying to flow back into the Dow a little bit today to try to, that relief bounce because of how weak the Dow has been. You may see a little bit of weakness on tech. If you see that Dow outperform today, you may see a little bit of weakness on tech. And if you see weakness on tech, watch out for those high flyers. Like Nvidia has been crazy, Amazon has been crazy, Shopify has been nuts. So all three of those could be due for some type of weakness if the Dow just totally kills it today after being really poor the last few weeks. So Snap, $65 a share. That's a very important level. We have the bank stress test. That is June 24th. That is in 3 days. Bank stress test. That is usually when the Fed comes out and says whether a bank can maybe purchase shares back. It's basically just sort of getting a feel for the overall standing of the bank and how it would perform through some type of recession or some type of tough time for banks. They're testing it. They're making sure that it can survive. This is something that is very important since the whole financial crash, the banks, and they started, you guys probably know this, but they've been starting to do this to make sure that in tough times, banks can survive. It's a stress test. And that's coming out, the information is coming out on the 24th of June. So I'll show you what banks are doing. They're pulling back right now. The last time the stress test came out, there was a huge reaction. I'll show you real quick. There was a huge reaction right here. This was a stress test. I still have this on my charts. I forgot that I had it on there. This gap up, boom, and look at what happened since. This was due to the stress test news that the Fed came out and said. They said that they were going to allow banks to buy their shares back. They said that everything was pretty good. They liked what they saw, and this is the reaction to the stress test. So we're going to have to talk about that today as well. Yeah, awesome race yesterday. Awesome race yesterday for F1. If you guys watch F1, that was sweet. What do you think? You passed him on the last lap with the medium tires. It's a good strategy by Red Bull. So Shopify and Amazon, I want to go over those because they have been insane, and I want to sort of just look at them with you guys and sort of get a feel for what I'm thinking. Two stocks that have really outperformed, and I think it's about time. I mean, it sort of makes sense, right? It's been so long since the big boys like Amazon and Shopify have had these types of moves, and it makes total sense in my opinion. Home Depot, you have Home Depot, which we've talked about here on the live stream a few times, and that thing is pulling back to an important 293 support level. We've been trying to think maybe it's not going to pull back that much. Maybe it'll find support before that, but at this point, I think it is. I think it is going to pull back to that 293, and if it does, I think it's presenting a huge buying opportunity. So I want to show that to you today. The last one we're going to go over is Etsy. I want to show you Etsy on the weekly chart. It's creating a very interesting formation. I want to show you it, and you guys can obviously take it how you want and look at it yourself. And then we'll go over the stocks that you guys want to review. On the I already have a lot, guys, so it's going to be the problem with the larger this stream gets, it's going to be difficult to go over everything. If you want to get, if you want to join a more personalized community, you can go ahead and check out the Discord chat. Obviously, we look at charts there as well. So, Neo, Nvidia. I already have Nvidia. So, Neo, Square. I'm going to look at Riot and Mara. Netflix, MU, MA, Tesla, RCL, and we'll see if we can get past that. If we can, I'll look for some other ones. But that looks like it's probably what we're gonna go over. So let's go ahead and jump into this. It's 8:10. Thank you guys again for stopping by. If you could, make sure to press that like button for me. I'd really appreciate that on this beautiful Monday morning. Let's see if we can find some really nice trades. So first off, NASDAQ, 14,000 is the level on NASDAQ. So let's go into the 4-hour here. And 14,000 is right around where this previous support level is, right? So we have this whole choppiness here. I don't want to call this an exact level. It's sort of like a zone. Anywhere from the top of this to around 14 I think is going to be an important zone. I don't want to call this a level because it's this double top, actually sort of a triple top, and I want to see this hold here. We are starting to get it today. So if we zoom into this, that was sort of the longer term view, but if we zoom into this a little bit closer, we have this 14,000 psychological support. So you have some support here, you have it bouncing here. You did flush through it pretty tough. You got that huge bounce on last Thursday, and then we have a nice bounce here at 14 this morning. Now, where did we pull back to? We pulled back to previous structure. So it looks very clean bounce where we bounced on the NASDAQ, right? So right here, previous tops looks very similar to these support levels, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see 14,000 hold. That is a crucial level today. That's my goal for today, is a $14,000 hold on the NASDAQ. No landscapers today. No landscapers. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Brian. So 14K, very important. Let's see if that holds today. If it does not, it's definitely important to hold where we previous fell to, which is around 13,880. 13,880 right there. But a nice reaction off 14 today. You can see if you go to the short term, here is your reaction off 14K this morning. So here's where the morning started, around 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Eastern. You got that futures movement, and then 7 or 8, right around here is that pre-market start. 8 o'clock is the pre-market start, I believe, 8 or 8:30. I don't trade pre-market, so I don't know the exact time. But you have a nice bounce here off 14. Look at this, very clean. So 14 obviously is the level for NASDAQ today. That's what I would be watching. If we break that down, we're coming back down to 13,878. So that's the NASDAQ. Let's see if that tech can hold up today. But right now, it seems like it's a little bit more about the Dow. So the Dow, I don't know if you guys watched my video yesterday. I hope you did. And if you did, I appreciate it. And if you did, then you should already know that we called out this $33,000 level before we're seeing this bounce. So we saw this exact thing on yesterday's video. Previous structure, 1, 2, psychological 33,000, and look what's happening this morning. So really clean off this 33,000 level on the Dow. You can see that right here. So 33,000. We were watching this level. It's a little bit under, but it's right around that area, right around that previous structure, and we're getting that nice push higher. So if we go back to the 4-hour, this is what I'm looking at, guys. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I am just looking at this previous resistance and turning into support here. Nice little structure point, a little bit of market consolidation. I want to see if that can hold as support today. It looks like it is starting to do it right now. So if this can hold, great. Maybe we can get a nice relief bounce on the Dow, which could help some of these Dow stocks, which could present some buying opportunities, right? So let's see. Can we hold 33? If we do, great. If not, this break would not be nice. It would not be nice, and you're probably heading back down to around these levels right here, 33.3, 33.4. You have some previous support there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we break down there, very nice. Yeah, Conrad, thank you. So at least someone saw it, right? At least someone saw my video yesterday. Appreciate that, Conrad. So yeah, nice bounce today. I like the area. We were looking at this yesterday, so I like to see when bounces come in right where we're looking at. That means that we're looking at the right things here. We are not just, throwing levels out on the charts and not knowing what the hell is going on. So this level is crucial. Let's go ahead and watch it today. 33,000 on the Dow. Put it on your charts. Mark it up. Make sure you're watching this level. If the Dow holds, you have very important bounces to watch on some of these Dow stocks. Next is the SPY. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate that. So very close to our level here on the SPY as well. So 41.20. You have a little bit of a zone. We were a little bit off on the zone. I mean, a few dollars. So this is clearly where the SPY is wanting to bounce, right? So we watched these levels yesterday, right here. 1, 2, 3 support. And then we're looking to get support once again. So boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. This circle tool sucks. And 5. So Very, very important level on the SPY, on the S&P 500. Now, we are moving back up into previous support. That means this should turn into resistance. So look at this. This was previous support. I am expecting this to turn into resistance here today on the ES, on the S&P 500. So the reason I say that is because if we zoom in here a little bit, let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. But we had previous support. I just deleted it. Fantastic. Previous support turning into resistance here on the ES. So we are bouncing into that. I want to see today, are we going to fail that level or are we going to break above it? So right here. Nice bounce off 41.20. Bounce into that 41.70. Previous resistance, turning into resistance here again today. And it's not just those two times, it's all the way back until April. So let's watch today how the SPY reacts to this level. You can see we are starting to sort of reject in this supply area right here. You can see back on Friday, a little bit of consolidation there. We're moving back into it, and we're getting that consolidation again. So is this going to be a break, a retest, and a bounce higher? Or is this going to be a break, a retest, and a crack lower? You know, that's what we have to watch today, because we are getting that little break and retest, which is nice. You can see it right here. You got the break. You got a nice consolidation retest coming in right now. If we bounce off this level, fantastic. You should expect some nice little SPY bounce today. If we can bounce off this previous resistance around 41.65, 41.68, right in this area. So let's see. We are starting to bounce off of it today. If we get that break and retest, that's very bullish. You guys should know what a break and retest is if you are here on this channel. So let's go ahead and see if that holds today, right around this 41.65 area, right where this red box is on my charts. That is right here in the daily chart. So you can see, actually, you know what? Daily doesn't show it too good. Let's go 4 hour. Sometimes the daily is just not as detailed as I'd like. So you can see it a little bit better on the 4 hour. 1, 2, 3, resistance, support, should turn into resistance today. If it does not, great bounce. Let's see. All right, so that's it for the futures. Let's go ahead and jump into Boeing real quick. Here's Boeing, and here is the trend line that we were watching. Here's this bounce, and look at the resistance. So we're sort of watching this level, this 257, 260 area. 1, 2, 3, 4 resistance levels, resistances where it found pretty bad resistance off of, and you can see this. You can see this pullback here on Boeing. Now, a lot of this pullback is obviously because of the Dow weakness. It's definitely not helping Boeing. But if the Dow can find support today, this could really be another opportunity, I think. So I'm going to be watching this. Here's the daily. We are still on our trend line, right? So we're still on our trend line, still very bullish, I believe. We're just sort of pulling back. And that's going to be normal. It's not, stocks don't go straight up. So if you're concerned about Boeing, just relax and consider that, stocks do not go straight up, and there will be pullbacks, there will be spikes, there'll be spikes, there'll be pullbacks. As long as it holds a trend, that's what you want to see. So I'm still okay with Boeing here due to its holding of this trend. So I want to continue to see, I want to see it bounce off this trend line. See now, if it does not bounce off the trend line and it cracks through the trend, then you know that something is up, and then you know that this setup is not valid anymore. So on the weekly, I'm still going to continue to think. I think this weekly trend continues. It's continued since March of last year. So I want to see this weekly trend continue on Boeing. We're coming down to it right now. We're coming to the 20-day moving average on the Boeing. So you can see one time here, 20-day that we bounced off of. I want to see if we can bounce off of it again. If we can, we definitely need to get above this 260 because you can see right here on the 4 hour, this 260 is very tough. So if we do get a pullback to the trend line, or if we move higher, we need to break this 260 on Boeing to continue this trend higher. That is what I'd be watching on Boeing if you guys are trading it. Nvidia, yeah, Baba. Yeah, Baba, I think it's interesting to watch this week as well. So, yeah, lower highs in the weekly has been doing that for a long time. So I want to see it continue to make that lower high for sure. So Here's Nvidia. Now you guys know we called both these flags. These were some beautiful, beautiful flag patterns on Nvidia. We had this one right here, and then we had a flag, and then we had that breakout, right? Boom, flag, breakout. We had another one, flag, right here, breakout. Now, these are some level. This is some interesting movement on Nvidia, and the reason I say this, and I'm going to show you right now. So every time Nvidia moves higher, you get a pullback to a previous resistance level. So you guys can see these last two moves higher. What did you get? You got a spike right here, big spike, pullback to previous resistance right here. Big spike, pullback to previous resistance, and what is that called? That is called a break and a retest. So we've had a multiple break and retest on Nvidia here. Now, today, I want to see, I don't know about today, but at least this week, I want to see Nvidia pull back to this 721, 720 level. I don't want to be trading Nvidia up here without any support underneath. There's no support here. No previous structure here on Nvidia all the way back until around 720. So me personally, I don't want to be trading this too heavily, or even, maybe I'll find a short-term setup, but I want to be waiting until this thing pulls back to this 720, because then I know, let's look at what's happened in the past. Every single pullback to that 720 creates a nice little flag breakout, and then I can take a trade off of it. So if we get that pullback, I want to see a flag breakout, then I can play off that previous resistance turning into support. So that is what I'll be watching on Nvidia today. Obviously, you know, it's still totally possible that it finds some short-term momentum and tries to spike up higher again, but I would much rather be trading it back down at these 720 levels. That would be much safer in my opinion. So that is my look for Nvidia. I'd like to see it cool off a little bit. Snap. Snap, snap, snap. So here is the daily chart on Snapchat. Now this has been a pretty interesting daily chart, right? I mean, we've been sort of stuck here for quite some time, and when this thing breaks out, I think you get a nice move. I really do. I think you're due for a nice little move here on Snapchat. I'm trying to see if I can find, I mean, this was sort of like this pattern before it happened, right? I can't move this over, but right here, let me see if I can make this look sort of similar. So look, so this pattern right here, see this little choppiness? Nice support here around 48. We've been watching this, whatever. Nice 48 support, nice bounces. You know, had that top resistance channel. So right here you had that top right around 54. And then we got that breakout, right? So right here, boom, breakout. Then it clears you for new highs. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because I think that looks similar to what we see here, and just a very small scale. So you see, you got your bottom, you got your $50 support, you got your $48, $50 support on Snap, and then you got your resistance up here at 64, 65. So what do we need? We need a break, we need a retest, and we need to be cleared into new highs. We need that to move Snap here. If not, we're just going to continue to chop around in this channel, and that is not fun. You know, the longer it does it, the more you're going to question yourself, right? So like this time you're like, okay, can it really resist off 65 again? Can I play puts here? Do I really think that, you know, for a 7th time, Snapchat is going to resist off the 64? Well, you know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's going to do it as many times as the market wants it to do. So for me personally, I'm waiting for this breakout. We did sort of call this. I don't know if you guys remember, but we've been all over Snap. You know, I watch Snap a lot. So every single time we've moved down to here, we have been looking at this in some way, shape, or form. So a really nice bounce here off Snapchat, off this $50 level. 1 second here. Let me see if I can even find it. One second, guys. So this was back on 29th. Where's the 29th? Yeah, look at this one. So this was back on the 29th. If you guys can see that. So that bounce was right here. That was this bounce. So we were looking at this on the 29th of June, or on March, right around this $50 level. And you can see that previous structure that we had, and then a beautiful bounce up to back to 64. So this little trade here, this was a beautiful trade here in the Discord chat. This was back on the 29th right here of March. That is right there. That was the bottom. I mean, that was legitimately the bottom on Snap. So really nice. We just continue to watch this Snap channel, and as long as you guys like to trade these channels, you can continue to trade Snap here. But just be aware of the potential resistance, potential support. If you're someone that's trying to trade momentum, be a little bit careful trading it into resistance. I'd rather have seen you buy it down here, right? You'd rather be a buyer here, and you'd rather be a seller up here if this channel holds. You don't want to be fighting this channel, because buying up here, you're fighting a long-term channel, and you have to be careful. So if you're looking for Snap, if you're looking to go long on Snap, wait and be patient for this breakout. Trust me, you're not going to miss out on much. Don't feel like you're going to miss out if you don't get in Snap before it breaks 65. Oh my God, I'm feeling missing out. I'm feeling the FOMO. I want to get in Snap now. Well, you know what? Snap is at a crucial resistance point, and it could very easily fall once again here. There's absolutely nothing stopping Snap from falling off this level again. So make sure to be careful if you're trading it. Watch for the move higher. Watch for the retest. Then get in. Get in on the retest of 65. That's my recommendation to you. So right here, if I can zoom out a little bit, well, it's not going to let me because that's so big. Here you go. 4 hour. Wait for the break, get the retest, and then take Snap once you know you get some bullish confirmation here. So that's Snapchat. Stress test. Bank stress test. Let's go ahead and just look at a few banks here real quick. So you have the 4 hour on JP Morgan. Here's the daily. Look at this pullback. So you have support, and you have support. So a little bit of a triple bottom here. Oh yeah. Tashumbi, thanks, man. Let's get those 200 likes. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. 330 people. It's a good number. Let's get to 400. Share this with your friends. If you think they can enjoy it, like a pre-market live stream preparing for the day, share it with your friends. Let everyone know. Let's get more people in here, and let's go ahead and spread the knowledge here in the morning. So, bank stress test. 1, 2, 3 touches here on JP Morgan. If they come out and say good things about banks, saying they're in good standing, they should be able to survive any type of economic turndown. They have plenty of cash. They have they're okay. Their balance sheet looks good. Stuff like that. If the Fed comes out and says all of this, which I'm feeling like they probably will, we all know JP Morgan has a ton of cash sitting around. They said it on CNBC the other day that Jamie Dimon was saying how that he's just going to continue to sit on a ton of cash because he's a little bit concerned about inflation. So if they're sitting on that cash, then maybe they'll be okay. Who knows what comes out? Who knows what the Fed says? But I do know that banks are pulling back, and this could be a big opportunity. So I want you to watch this. I'm not saying to buy it. I'm saying to watch it. So JP Morgan, you got Citibank pulling back extremely well to these previous structure levels. So right here, you have this previous structure. You also have some previous support right here. So you have Citibank pulling back. You have JP Morgan pulling back. You have Goldman Sachs right on this beautiful trend line. So look at this trend line that I was drawing here on Goldman Sachs. So you have this nice trend line here on GS, and you also have previous structure here. So these banks are all pulling back to very, very important levels right there. Look at that. So Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, you get that pullback as well. I mean, these are all perfect pullbacks. Look at this. So boom. Look at these. I'm just going to go through these real quick, and you're going to see how similar all these are. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citi. What else? What am I missing? Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, a little bit more difficult to chart just because it's smaller, but very similar here. Same exact pullback on Wells Fargo. So, watch banks. Watch them this week. Watch them when the news comes out, the stress test news. Jonathan, voice chat. Go into the Discord. Go right here where it says live trading 9:30 to 12 and press on it. That's all you need to do. I get this question probably 70 times a day. So if you guys just scroll down, you go to right here, voice channels, you press live trading, you're in it. If you can't hear anything, go to settings, user settings, go to your, where is it? Go to your voice and video and change your input and output devices to make sure that you can hear. So there you go. That's how you do it. So please, yeah, back. Sorry guys, I missed back. Back. Very similar as well. Look, right to the 100-day. So very, very similar. Previous structure here, 100-day moving average. That is very nice. So banks this week, keep them on your charts. Make sure to be watching banks. That's all I'm going to say. There might be some opportunity. I don't know if it falls more. I don't know if it moves higher off these levels, but there's going to be some volatility, and I want you guys to be aware of it. Will the market makers have... Yeah, I'm sure IV will probably increase into this news. If the IV is increasing, then it's starting to price in those movements. But you can still probably take advantage of it. It's not going to be like earnings where it just dies, even if it moves higher. But you can even play the continuation. If you guys don't want to try to guess the direction, which I don't recommend you try to guess the direction, play the continuation. Wait for the news to come out. Play it after. A lot of people feel like they need to get in before big events to try to get the move, thinking they're going to miss everything. But guys, I mean, Adobe is a great example. Adobe, you didn't need to play the earnings on Adobe. Instead of trying to guess where Adobe was going to go, Adobe, you could have just played the move the day after. You could have played the continuation. Where else? Where else do we see a big continuation after earnings? Can you guys think of an example? I'm trying to think of one. Was it Zoom? Zoom, I think, continued after... Yeah, okay, yeah, Zoom's a good example. Zoom's a great example. So here's Zoom. Where's earnings? Where's earnings here? Here's earnings. Here's the 4-hour. So here's Zoom, right? Here's the earnings that came out. Say you really wanted to get in before Zoom earnings. You obviously you would have got hurt the next day after it sold off post earnings, but the continuation move is something that I'd rather be playing. DOW, is that one? Yeah, this is a perfect example. Thank you. What is that, Saeed? Thank you for this example. This is perfect. So, DOW, huge move higher off earnings. Now, instead of playing earnings, play the continuation. Stop trying to guess what happens on earnings. So you have a big earnings move, and look at these days after. They're just monstrous. And you could have easily played these moves without exposing yourself to IV crush, without exposing yourself to implied volatility, market maker BS that goes on. So consider it. Consider it. Richard, I can't really guess for that to happen. It's impossible for me to tell you if that's going to happen or not. If anyone tells you that that's going to happen, they're BSing you because they don't know. But it looks like the Dow rotation was all last week. Money was rotating out of Dow. This morning, we have a little bit of a different picture. So if you want, you can go back to the beginning of this video and look at our future analysis. Right now, the Dow is up 0.6. The Nasdaq's up 0.2. So a little bit of money back into the Dow this week. Shop in Amazon. Shop in Amazon. So Amazon 3,500 is holding. Look at this long-term market maker BS. Oh, it's just not people not understanding that. Yeah, Etsy's on the end of the list. Look, see right there. Look at the end of the list. Lim, Etsy. A lot of people don't understand that market makers price movements into the contracts. That's the expected move. So if you don't know that before coming into earnings, you can really get screwed. But anyways, Amazon, 35.54 is all-time highs, and it's crazy to think we're only about 50 points off of it, so we're very close. We're very close to that level. I don't know exactly what rocketed Amazon here. I think a lot of people think it's because of Prime Day. Prime Day upcoming. I think that is definitely helping. You also have a NASDAQ that started to get a lot of money flowing into it over the last week. And you have this nice little trend line that held once again, which I like that as well. But you obviously had a monster move on Amazon. And when you see a move like this, don't expect to do any type of fancy-dancy technical analysis here because this is just a straight-up move, and it's going to be very difficult to know where this slows down, where this pulls back, where it goes to. I can't tell you. I can't tell you today because this is just a chop fest that is just moving back up into a high, into the highs. So really all that I'd be watching is, can it break all-time highs? If it can, fantastic. And just sort of watching the price movement, watching the price action. Amazon is going to be all about watching price action, watching the NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ pulls back today, expect a pullback on Amazon. And maybe you get this pullback back to these levels right around here, right? So you have these previous resistance levels that maybe will act as support here on Amazon. You can see right here, right? You have resistance, resistance, resistance. If we get a pullback, watch this 34.30 area for potential support. But overall, I think you just need to watch the price action today on Amazon. Shopify is another, oops, I don't want to order entry anything. Shopify is another fantastic example of this where it just went absolutely berserk. And if you guys watch the live streams, you know that we called this move. You know that, right? You know we saw this break and retest of this trend line, making the trend line turn into support instead of resistance right here. It's already on the charts, 100-day moving average hold, and we were watching this right at this level, and this was a monstrous move on Shopify. I mean, that is, I think a few guys in our chat made like 3,000% on some contracts. Tesla, if you're here, let me know. But yeah, he killed it on this one. But huge move on Shopify. You're coming up to that $1,500 level. That's really all I'd be watching, is this psychological 15. Until then, it's all going to be about price action. You're just going to have to watch it intraday, see if the momentum is there, see if the NASDAQ is holding up. If it's not, expect some pullbacks on Shop. But it's a lot. Yeah, it's very costly. Good point. Very expensive to trade these stocks, these contracts on Amazon and Shop. Big spreads as well sometimes, so be very careful. But I just wanted to show you these guys because they are moving with some serious momentum, and it's good to keep an eye out for it. All right, Home Depot. Real quick, all I'm looking at on Home Depot is if we pull back to this 293 right here. I'm waiting for this pullback. If you get this pullback, fantastic. Give me a little bit of consolidation. Give me that retest and give me that move higher. Let me go ahead and buy it off this bounce here at 292. That is what I'll be watching. That is a long-term break and retest, right? Because you had previous resistance here. 1, 2, resistance, break, retest, give me the support, and then let me trade off of it again here at 292. So if you're watching Home Depot, that's the level I'm watching. Etsy. So Etsy on the weekly chart. That Home Depot, that's the daily chart. It's 1 day, 1 year, 1 day. So 360 days, 1 day per candle. All right, Etsy. Look at this hold on the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart right here. This is very interesting to me. You see this grind higher on this line? It's holding it perfectly. So you had a gap down on earnings. You had a move down on earnings, and you're getting support here on the 50-day on the weekly. So you also have this sort of holding this previous structure point right here, now that I see this. So right here, you have this previous high that's holding as support right at this level right here. So can Etsy bounce off this level, this 155 level on this weekly chart? Look at this 50-day moving average. I've been watching this. I want to see if it can hold. On the daily, it doesn't look like much, but it does look like a nice little support hold, double bottom, right here at this previous structure point. So can Etsy fill this gap back to around 183? I think that's totally possible. If it does, see if it continues. If not, as is, that's almost 10% to the upside to fill this gap if we hold this level. So definitely watch Etsy here. Definitely watch Etsy here this week. So that is what I have. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. Ah, it's a lot of talking. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the stuff that you guys want to look at, if you can, before... wow, we almost have 400 here, guys. Almost 400. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in. If you're new here, press the like button, subscribe. Right now, usually, for about 5 to 10 minutes, I'll go over some of the stocks that you guys want to see. But I do it as a, first come, first serve sort of thing. So if you're here early, you recommend stocks, then I get to it. If you're here now and you're about to start recommending stocks and spamming the chat with stocks, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to get to them. So, unfortunately, if you're here now recommending them, it's going to be tough for me to get to, just because I already have a list. But just know that that's how it sort of works. I do have Tesla. I saw your message earlier, Solar. I got Tesla on there. So, let's go ahead and jump into, let's try to get 200 likes on this video. And let's try to get into some of the stocks. Yeah, but Ride and Mara are related to Bitcoin. Yep. All right, NEO. NEO was one that we wanted to look at. That was early. Let's go ahead and look at NEO here. So, NEO. I like what NEO is doing. There's creating a very nice trend here on the 4 hours. So if you see this trend, look at this trend line on NEO. It's held it beautifully. So we have 1, 2, 3. Are we going to get a fourth bounce off this trend line right here? 1, 2, 3, fourth bounce potential. But what I would rather see is a hold of this previous. Let me go ahead and try to get this on a chart here, 4 hour. What I'd rather see, rather than see a pullback to this trend line, is I'd rather see us find a support here around 46. So if we get this pullback to 46, that's previous resistance, right? So you guys see this resistance back here in March. Can we get a pullback to that resistance? Can we retest it and move higher once again? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see on NEO. Worst case scenario, we pull back to this trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see us at least pull back to this trend line or do a little bit of a break and retest and hold this 46. Overall, NEO is in a nice uptrend, and I think you can continue to be bullish on it as long as it holds the uptrend that you guys can see here on the 4 hour. That's my thoughts on NEO. Square, very similar sort of feeling on Square. Square, we were calling this one out for quite a while here, guys. I think you guys probably know that. I don't need to keep on saying that. It's very similar to Snapchat. Very strong demand zone around here at 200, 202, 203. Bouncing off of it once again, creating a nice little uptrend here on Square. You guys can see 1, 2. Are we going to get another test of this trend line? If we go down to the 4 hour, we can see this a little bit in more detail. So nice little trend line that has formed here. If we get a retest of the trend line, all that I want to see is a hold and to make a higher low, and we can continue on our way back towards this high, right? That's what I want to see. A nice consistent uptrend here forming here on Square. If we can get that, fantastic. We're going to need DOW, or we're going to need NASDAQ strength. We're going to need tech strength. But as long as we hold this uptrend, I'm comfortable with Square. And there is a ton of upside still, about 20%, 18% to the upside. So let's see. Let's see if Square can hold. Biggest hold that we saw so far this week was this beautiful break and retest. So you guys can see that. You have a break higher, you have a retest, and you have the bounce off of it. So the break and retest is not just some, hoopla BS that goes through the stock market. This is legit stuff. So nice break and retest right here. This was a perfect trade entry. Now I want to see the break, the retest, and make a higher low, right? So now this is the stair step. This is where I want to see Square hold now. 232. That's my new stair step. That's my new higher low right here at 232. Let's see if that can hold. So that's really nice on Square. Let's see if that can continue. Netflix. I saw someone message about Netflix. Wrote that down this morning. Netflix is an interesting one, guys. Netflix has been pretty weak. It's a very bad price action. I watch this thing intraday, and it's just so trash sometimes. It's very difficult to trade. Not very liquid. I mean, just hard. But, you know, I will tell you, you have this nice support here back around 470. If that holds, great. The only thing that I would be watching for on Netflix, the only thing you need to watch on Netflix is a break above 515 right here. 515 for an earnings gap down recovery. So 515 has been tough post gap down. This gap down right here is on earnings. If you can break 515 right here and get this move to fill this gap, you have about, you know, 6% on Netflix. But I'm not touching this thing until I can trust that it's going to break above 515. That's my thoughts on Netflix. All right, we're gonna do one more. And it's not going to be Tesla because we did that yesterday. So if you want to see Tesla, just go watch my video. It's going to be, what do we have? MU. So MU is in the chat, and I gotta respect the chronological order here. So I'm gonna go with MU. If you guys want, before you head out, I'd appreciate if we can get 200 likes on this live stream. That would be awesome. So thank you for liking it. But MU, right here. Nice previous structure point right around, what is this, 650? Oh, no, this is Y. Jesus Christ. It's not MU. I was like, I saw the I saw the stock price. I was like, MU at $653. No fucking way. So, yeah, not Y. MU. All right, here we go. Here's MU. So, right here, you guys can see a nice little area of support, little zone, and it looks like we're sort of trying to hold right around that level. We're a little bit north of it, but I want to think that it's trying to hold this area. You have a previous bottom right here around 76, right here. 1, 2 little double bottom. You have a little bit of a downtrend that's formed here, right here. You can see a little bit of a downtrend that's formed there, but I'd really just want to see this hold right here, this entire area, anywhere from 74 to 75. That is very important. I'll call them back. So that's a very important level here at 74.75. So let's see if that holds. Let's see if that can continue right at this level on MU. Let's see if we can hold that level. So guys, that's going to be it. Thank you again for stopping by. Thank you again for coming to the live streams. I hope you do. I hope you guys enjoy these. Hope they prepare you well for the day. I know it prepares me, because if I didn't stream this, I probably wouldn't be doing this in-depth of an analysis for myself. So I'm very happy to do this for my own personal trading. And I'm very happy to do this for you as well so that you guys can learn with me. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a successful trading day. It's Monday. Make sure to start the week on a great note. Don't, go all in on some crazy stock. Take it small, take it slow, close on a good green day, and prepare yourself for the coming week. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram. If you want to join the Discord chat, there's a link down below. It's $1 a day to join us 1,300 traders looking at stocks on a daily basis, sharing our trades, sharing our analysis, sharing our, just a very community-driven place, sharing our motivation and our experiences. So I enjoy it, couldn't trade without it, and if you want to check us out, the link is down below. So thank you guys again. Press that like button. JJ, thank you for being a moderator here. Thanks for coming every day. I really appreciate it. So I will see you guys later, and I'll see you tomorrow in the live stream. Peace out.